Have you ever been with someone who said they loved you, but somehow you still felt alone? Have you ever looked at the person beside you and thought, I know you love me, but but why don't I feel cared for? That question stayed with me for a long time because I learned that there is a difference between loving someone and knowing how that person needs to be loved. Welcome back to Healing Hearts with Melanie. Today, I want to talk about something very simple but very deep. What does it actually mean to feel cared for? Love can look different to different people. Maybe your way of showing love is is doing things. You cook, you clean, you pay the bills, you fix things, you make sure everything is taken care of, and you think, look at everything I do. Of course, they know I love them. But your partner might need something completely different. Maybe they need you to sit beside them. Maybe they need reassurance. Maybe they need affection. Maybe they need you to listen. Maybe they need you to say, I see that you're having a hard time. I'm here. And this is where relationships can become complicated. Because sometimes we're giving love, but we're giving it in the language we understand, not necessarily the language our partner needs. What happens when you're sick? I learned something very personal about this during my marriage. There were times when I wasn't feeling well, and when you're sick, you become vulnerable. You don't always need somebody to fix everything. Sometimes you just want someone to acknowledge, you're hurting, let me help you. There were moments when I felt that my sickness was treated as something I needed to fight through. As if being strong meant I shouldn't need to be cared for, and that hurt. Because when you're already dealing with physical pain, the last thing you want is to feel like your pain is an inconvenience. I remember thinking, I don't need you to make my pain disappear. I just need you to care that I'm in pain. That's a very different thing. Care is not always about fixing. We sometimes think caring means, what can I do to fix this? But sometimes there is nothing to fix. Sometimes someone just needs companionship. Sometimes they need soup. Sometimes they need a glass of water. Sometimes they need a quiet room. Sometimes they need a hug. And sometimes they just need you to sit there and say, I've got you. That's care. A moment I will never forget. There was a time when I had a surgery. My former husband came to pick me up from the hospital. And when we got home, there was an expectation that I would make dinner. I was hurting. So I made myself a simple soup, something I could actually eat while recovering. And you know what? Looking back, I realized the soup wasn't really the issue. The issue was that I was hoping to feel cared for. I had just come home from surgery. I wanted to feel like, you don't have to worry about anything right now. Rest, I'll take care of you. That's what my heart needed. And years later, that experience was brought up again in a completely different context. And I remember how painful that felt because something I had experienced as a moment when I desperately needed care had become something that could be counted as a sacrifice. And that taught me something. When you love someone, don't make them feel like your care is a debt yet they owe you. Love should not be a scoreboard or a scorecard. I don't like keeping score. If I do something for someone I love, I don't want to remember every single thing I've done so I can bring it up later. Because then, the relationship starts to feel like I did this for you, so now you owe me. That's not the kind of love I want. And I'm not saying people shouldn't appreciate what their parents do or their partners do. Absolutely appreciate it. Say thank you, recognize the effort. But there's a difference between appreciation and keeping a ledger. Love should not feel like a bank account where every deposit creates a debt. When care becomes conditional, think about this. What happens when you only feel cared for when you're giving something back? When you're useful? When you're happy? When you're productive? When you're available? When you're meeting someone's expectations? That's not the kind of love our hearts need. Because we're going to have days when we can't give much. We're going to get sick. We're going to get tired. We're going to fail. We're going to have bad days. We're going to need help. And that's when we discover something important. Can this relationship hold me when I don't have anything to give? Real care says, you don't have to earn compassion. It says, you can have a bad day. You can be sick. You can be vulnerable. You don't have to pretend you're okay. And perhaps most importantly, your pain doesn't annoy me. That's emotional safety. But let's turn the question around. Now I want to challenge all of us. It's easy to ask, does my partner care for me? But let's also ask, do I know how my partner feels cared for? Because maybe we've been loving someone according to our own definition of love. Maybe we say, I work hard for this family. I pay the bills. I do everything for you. And perhaps that's true. But maybe your partner is quietly saying, I don't need more things. I need more connection. Or maybe your partner says, I don't need you to solve the problem. I need you to listen. That's why communication matters so much. Let's slow down for a moment. Take a breath and ask yourself, what makes me feel genuinely cared for? Not what looks good on social media, not what your friends say. What makes you feel cared for? Does my partner actually know what makes me feel cared for? Have you told them? Or have you been hoping they'll just figure it out? How do I show love to the people I care about? And here's the deeper question. Am I loving people in the way they need to receive love, or only in the way that feels natural to me? Sit with that. You don't have to solve everything today. Sometimes awareness is the beginning of change. One of the things my relationships have taught me is that love isn't just about what we feel. It's about what we do with those feelings. Love needs compassion. Love needs respect. Love needs patience. Love needs communication. And sometimes, love simply needs someone to sit beside you and say, you don't have to carry this alone. That's the kind of care I believe every human being deserves. Not perfect care, not constant attention, not someone who fixes everything. Just the feeling that when life gets hard, I'm not alone. And if you've ever been in a relationship where you felt loved but not cared for, I want you to know you're not asking for too much by wanting compassion. You're not weak because you need support. And you're not difficult because you want to feel emotionally safe. You are human, and human needs connection. Next week, we're going to go a little deeper into something that can quietly change the way we see ourselves inside a relationship. When criticism becomes the language of love, or when it becomes the thing that slowly breaks us down. We'll talk about communication, fault finding, emotional safety, and what happens when you begin to lose your voice inside a relationship. And I'll share more of my own story as we go. This is Healing Hearts with Melanie. Take care of your heart and remember, the right kind of love doesn't make you feel like a burden when you need to be cared for. Listen, heal, grow.